I'm David with The Verge, and this is the Galaxy Note Pro. Samsung's great at copying other companies and mimicking their cool features, but it had one really good idea that no one's been able to copy yet: making everything huge. This is a 12.2-inch tablet, one of the biggest I've ever used. And for all intents and purposes, it's just like every other Samsung Galaxy Note tablet, except, bigger. The Note Pro is 11.6 inches wide and 8 inches tall. It honestly feels a little like I'm holding a television. It's surprisingly thin, actually, at less than 8 millimeters, but at 1.6 pounds, it's just about the heaviest tablet you'll find. It's made of Samsung's traditional cheap plastic, either white or blue, but it feels a lot better than some older tablets. It has this fake stitched leather coating on the back that doesn't look or sound like a good idea, but it makes the Note Pro a lot more comfortable and pleasant to hold. It's thin enough that you can kind of dig it into your palm and hold it in one hand, but that gets tiring really fast. This thing is meant to be held in two hands, and probably not even held at all, but used on a desk. It's also meant to be used in landscape mode. The 12.2-inch 2560 by 1600 display is really beautiful, though it's the same resolution and a little larger than the Note 10.1 screen, which looks a little better as a result. For watching a movie, having so much screen real estate is really great, though it can actually be too much for a game. I got dizzy playing Asphalt Airborne, which was just stuttery enough and so close to my face that I got a headache. The screen is, obviously, ridiculously tall in portrait mode. There is one time it's useful, though. If you hold the tablet in portrait, play a video in the bottom half and do something else in the top, it's almost like you're using two tiny tablets side by side. It's great. The Galaxy Note Pro runs a heavily customized version of Android 4.4 KitKat, with Samsung's TouchWiz software layered all over it. The most useful addition is the multitasking. The Note Pro actually lets you run up to 4 apps at once. Dragging them all into place one by one is kind of a pain, but once things are set, they're really easy to move around and adjust. It's not exactly smooth all the time, but it's honest-to-goodness multitasking, which a tablet like this, which is clearly designed for getting things done, really needs. The other useful addition to the standard Android tablet experience is the S Pen, which has always been the hallmark feature of Note devices. Here it's the same tiny pen as ever, and it works impressively well. It's responsive enough that both writing and drawing are smooth and accurate. The problem with the S Pen, and actually with the multitasking too, is that there's just not enough to do. The multitasking only works with a handful of apps, so you can't pin Evernote next to a browser and take notes that way. There are only clunky workarounds. And with the pen, the only real benefit over your finger is if you're using a few Samsung-blessed apps like S Note or Action Memo. When you first pull the pen out of its slot in the top corner of the tablet, it pops up the Action command menu, which offers a few things you can do. You can draw a rectangle on the screen and open an app in that space. You can take a screenshot and draw on it, or quickly pop up a notepad. It's handy, and I found myself using the pen basically constantly when I was using the Note Pro, but it's still way too limited. In almost any other app, I'm stuck just tapping and swiping. There's also basically nothing here taking advantage of such a gigantic display. Samsung's Flipboard-powered, live tile-style magazine UX home screen is neat, but it's huge and just shows news or your calendar. It's like Windows 8, but without a lot of the options or customizations. Samsung did make some changes to the OS itself to better suit such a big screen. There are bigger settings menus, a huge notification pull-down, and a horizontal multitasking window across the bottom of the screen. And of course, that's all in addition to the standard blooping and rippling of Nature UX. Samsung's real focus here is on the business-friendly features that seem appropriate for a device with Pro in its name. There's a utility built in for sharing your laptop screen on your tablet, one for sharing your tablet screen on your laptop, and a couple of apps for running meetings. The Note Pro is designed for work, and it does feel more productive than most tablets. Its keyboard is huge and easy to type on, the pen is handy in spots, and the multitasking helps too. But this is not a replacement for a laptop, or even really a competitor for something like the Surface Pro, which is a full-fledged PC in a tablet body. It's just a tablet. Basically, it's the same thing as the Note 10.1, only bigger. It's fast and responsive thanks to an Exynos processor and 3 gigs of RAM. The RAM also helps a lot with multitasking. But there's nothing that really differentiates it from any other Samsung product other than its sheer size. And starting at $749, you're paying a lot for a little more screen real estate. It's not going to replace a laptop or even really let you leave it at home. The Note Pro is great for meetings and it's great for watching movies, and for everything else it's just exactly the same as any other tablet, only bigger and heavier and more expensive. There's a million-miler businessman out there who might get a lot from the Galaxy Note Pro, but most people won't get nearly enough.